Let us move forward now. How did such a downtrodden community become empowered and fairly quickly move up the social ladder by the end of the 19th century? The Presbyterian missionaries from Nova Scotia in Canada, who arrived from 1868, played a crucial role in the assimilation process and social mobility. The Presbyterian mission began in Princestown, in Erie Village, in South Trinidad. Their primary schools were known as Canadian Mission Indian Schools, later Canadian Mission Schools or CM Schools. They were built among the sugar estates and attended by children of the indentured laborers. The Indians had no diaries, but Trinidadian novelists such as Shiva Naipaul, V.S. Naipaul, and Samuel Selvon have mentioned the status of these Indians in the early colonial society and post-indentureship society. In V.S. Naipaul's A Flag on the Island, one of the characters reflects positively on his conversion. And this character said, I quote, "I was interested in teaching. There was no other thing for a man of my limited means and limited education," end of quote. And the only way this Indian could have obtained this teaching job in the CM school was to convert to Presbyterianism. An educated class was now coming into existence. The needs of the estate residents served as the catalyst for social and economic improvement. Indians were not willing to be estate servants for too long. Those who left the estates decided to open small businesses and sold dry goods as the needs of the community grew. They were ingenious persons who we would refer today as entrepreneurs. They used money they had saved as capital to begin provision and liquor shops on estates and throughout the country. These men were known as sardars or leaders among the Indian community and had obtained the planters' permission to begin these shops. Many who accumulated wealth became real estate agents or land proprietors. Let's read the names on these business places: Gokul, Gunpat, Bisesa, Mohip, Maharaj, and Ramsarup. Some became money lenders, which was legal at that time. Gradually, a business class developed as some entered the wholesale business. Some of these Indians returned to traditional occupations, whilst others learned new skills. These included pundits, imams, goldsmiths, potters, tailors, barbers, and merchants. They all showed resilience, determination, and courage as they strove against odds and hardships. Let us travel into the next century, the 20th century, where parents with simple lifestyles and their common dietary preferences consisting of dal, rice, and bhaji, or other vegetables grown in their backyard gardens. Their savings will be used to educate their sons and daughters, to ensure they are sent to universities abroad, and would return to bring dignity to this country. Some are investing in pieces of land and constructing homes for their families. Now the Indian diaspora extends from Trinidad to Canada, to United States to Europe. Over the years, as East Indians go to study and live in these countries. Today in Trinidad and Tobago, the Indian peasant farmer is the backbone of market gardening, cultivating fresh fruits and vegetables, tending poultry, sheep, and goats. The Indians have been successful in small and medium business enterprises. They have been successful in local government, village councils, religious organizations, and commerce. Within the sphere of politics, Indians have also excelled as members of parliament and government ministers from 1956. They rose to political prominence. East Indians have risen over the years politically, socially, and economically in fields such as business, medicine, law, education, science, and music. They have contributed to independent, rational, and logical thinking, which have led to peaceful coexistence and harmony in our country. Now, as we return from this time machine into the present, we must ask ourselves, what does Indian Arrival Day mean to me in a society as rich and diverse as Trinidad and Tobago? There must be strength in diversity, and no division must be encouraged, even by politicians and calypsonians. We must celebrate our achievements as East Indians in the context of the values we bring to the national community and the assets we are creating to support national development. At the ground level, in different villages such as Bamboo and towns, all the various ethnicities must live together in harmony. We can talk of our motherland and feel affinity with India, but we are primarily Trinbagonians of East Indian descent. It is very sad and unfortunate, though, that many East Indians feel that the words of our national anthem, "Here every creed and race find an equal place," do not ring true. We do not have to give up our culture to enjoy other people's cultures. One should not dispense with one's ancestral roots. We have to be aware of our history and our roots. There's a need for knowledge and openness in our approach to everything. We must show confidence, we must show pride in our achievements, and we must not promote divisions. East Indians have made a valuable, significant, and visible contribution. The younger generation, which I see here today, must know where they came from and where they are going. Being East Indian does not mean simply voting a political party, wearing ethnic clothing, eating special foods, listening to particular radio stations, or attending special cultural organizations. The East Indian man must avoid being identified with the "Ram Till I Die" or the Dal Belly Indian man image. The Indian man has a very important role to play in our society. He has to be a mentor for younger generations. We must be united. We must have a common goal, and we must appreciate our uniqueness. The East Indian tassa, the dantal, the sitar must blend with our steel pans and drums. Even though Indian Arrival Day celebrations should embrace all, sometimes Indians feel excluded. All Indian Arrival Day celebrations need to incorporate Indians who are Muslims, Indians who are Christians, such as Presbyterians, Roman Catholics, Anglicans, Seventh-day Adventists, and those from evangelical churches. Their ancestors also came from India and Pakistan. Let us also not forget the Douglas and those persons of mixed ancestry who also have Indian roots. We can all progress in this society. We all have contributions to make. And I want to wish you all a happy Indian Arrival Day. May we all be blessed in our rainbow country as we continue to strive for unity, harmony, peace, and prosperity. I thank you all.